What's up guys, Rick Denham here, Holy Moly Outdoors, and welcome back to another Tech Tip Tuesday. We are covering some fun stuff today in this episode. It is the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, so I hope you guys had a wonderful time with all your friends and family over the weekend. It was a blast for us, and I can't wait to talk about the opportunities we have coming up. Because it is now past Thanksgiving, we can start talking about Christmas stuff. But at the same time, this brings about some new seasonal stuff. And in today's episode, we're going to cover one of my favorite winter fisheries to take on. So stay tuned. Winter is a fun time because the opportunities really are all over the place as far as there's just so much to do. You just have to go find where the opportunities provide. One of these is actually opening up this Saturday. December 1st, we are looking at the Blackmouth opener for some of our areas in Puget Sound. And me, like many people, have been waiting for this because when the rivers get high and swollen like they are right now, heavy rains, yes, steelhead are right around the corner, and I cannot wait. But don't discount the fun opportunities for Blackmouth out there in Puget Sound. For you guys that have a boat, whether it's a big one or a smaller one, there are opportunities for you guys to get out there. And in this episode today, we're going to cover just a couple quick gear setups that I like to run that'll get you ready and into some fish. So as we go out there, I've already seen from a lot of reports on the squid fisherman side, we have a ton of bait around, which this is a huge bonus because this means these fish, these juvenile Chinook, which are called the Blackmouth, are going to be really gorging themselves and getting set up to really bulk themselves for their next adventure and journey. So with being the case, we have a lot of options that to match the herring or other forage fish that these guys are chasing after. So we'll start with a rod basic setup. And I've done some of these videos, guys. If you want to look at the past Blackmouth stuff, go ahead and take a look up here above. But in this one specifically, I'm going to go through my starting lineup for Saturday. So I'm going to take my standard velocity Salmon Extreme Series rod. This is the 902 medium light, my favorite rod for everything, honestly, and catch a ton of Blackmouth with this thing too. So it's a great rod. I paired it up with the Shimano this is a Shimano TR100G, the right-handed model. It's a great little reel. I think I've had this thing now for 15-20 years. Really is a trooper, and I got it spooled up with 20-pound test. So we then have our rod set up ready, got our line, and now we go on to the terminal end because you can fish so many different ways for Blackmouth, and honestly they all are productive. So don't get me wrong, what I cover in this section of the video is not the end all. There are a lot of great companies out there that make good stuff, but for me, my confidence is in these next gears and I'm going to show you. So I really like to start my setup with a flasher and spoon because what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover a lot of water, and in covering water I'm looking for that bait. So I want something that's going to get me right in the zone. I don't have to worry a lot about fuddling with bait in that sense because you're having to then reel up and rebait and recheck. To me, sometimes that is a great option. However, it can also be lost opportunity if you're not paying attention to your rod. So really the spoon is something that makes it foolproof in some of the sense. Now, if there are a lot of shakers around, you can run into that problem. So you have to adjust yourself, whether it's the speed you're trolling or the size of the lure you're fishing, but a spoon behind a flasher can be very productive. So when I talk flashers, you guys might have seen some of my stuff before. I love a specific brand. It's not to say I don't fish others, but I just really have a lot of confidence in it, and that is the Nite Xtractor flasher. What's really neat about this thing, guys, is this is a sliding flasher. It goes through both ends here and rides up and down your line. The one I have rigged up on this rod has been my absolute killer for Blackmouth. I'm not sure exactly why, but that straight UV on one side and I add the glow strip on the back really makes this productive. And you can see I also have our fun little Pro Troll light just for another little bit of added fun, because you never know. But glow and UV are crucial, I feel, when you're fishing down on the bottom like you are for Blackmouth. So I really like the sliding component of the Dick Nite. It really helps when you hook a bigger fish that they can't use that flasher against you. Now I add 2 glow beads above the flasher itself so that when you're reeling it in, you can't run it into the guides. Then on the business end of the spoons, we ended up launching last year in the salmon season our Holy Moly custom trolling spoons. They've been a big hit. I've really felt like spent some time into that in developing those and some of the color patterns. So I'm really happy to share those with everybody. Now, again, I'm not just trying to say my spoons that I've done are the only ones out there. Silver Horde makes a great spoon. That is the Herring-Aid 3.0 is a really good one. So don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great ones out there. This is one of mine that imitates a candlefish. It's a little bit bigger, has some glow. I do a lot of custom colors, so a spoon that imitates the forage that you're around is crucial. This one being a candlefish. I got another one here that is our herring spoon. So it just happens to depend on where you're at and what you're fishing for. And those aren't the only productive ones. This is a Goals custom Wonder Bread that's done really well for me. I do a little fun stuff on the back. But that's spoons. I run about 42 inches behind that sliding flasher from Dick Nite, and it's game on. Fishing that on the bottom. So there's one rig. Really productive for me. I also have had a lot of success running plugs, and this is going to be in my arsenal as well. If you're running into a lot of shakers, or you want to just fish something fun that will get you bigger fish and better bites, Atomic Plug 5-inch 603 is a great one. And I apologize if I cough here, still battling this cold. Another one, so this is a great herring imitation. We're going to have a little bit bigger bait sizes in the water. I really did well during the Summer Kings on these. Blackmouth love them too. If they're concentrating on candlefish, you can go something to like this smaller profile one by Pogue Plugs. It's a really great, glows in the dark, has a lot of colors. I really like this one when they're on the candlefish bite. So that is just one version of the plug. I've also found that these old goat lures are also really good for imitating the candlefish or the herring, depending on which version you're running. These are the OG2s, which are the more narrow candlefish size. Perfect for this time of the year. This happens to be the white and black scale, and here is your green and blue with a little white belly. Really good, productive. I love these, did really well with them too. So I'm super excited for all that, guys. Another quick thing I love to use is a little bit of scent. Some AN Sporting scent sticks, as you guys usually always see me running. Herring and sardine are great imitators to the forage out there. One thing I haven't run a lot of late, but I know is super effective, is bait. And you can run a full-size herring in something like one of these bait heads that will really make a difference for a tight bullet troll as you go. Now, again, these aren't all the end all, but I feel like running spoons to start with is always a great way, and you can either that, pair a different rod on the other side of the boat, with a plug, and you can play back and forth to see how one does versus the other. You can run hoochies, you can run flies, like Olympic tackle. I've done really well with those too, but I have a lot of confidence for blackmouth fishing with spoons as my starting lineup. But then they come out with some more things like this guy from Gibbs, the Heron Egg Glow. That one's going to be a great one to run this year. Those new herring heads. We got some new sizes of our spoons here at Holy Moly, especially in these mini sizes. If you end up having a lot of really tiny bait, there's a lot of great stuff out there. But for blackmouth on opening day, I'm running that same starting lineup with my go-to spoon here, and I can't wait to see what happens. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. Really a lot of fun. So it's an option when the rivers are blown that you guys can get out there and still catch some great table fare fish and have some fun doing it. So take care, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the water. Tight lines and fish on!